Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome into the Anno tutorial series where I take save files that you've sent me that you need a little bit of help on. I'll take a look for things that you might be doing wrong that need to be fixed, help you understand how to identify those mistakes, ways to fix them, and where you can go from there. If you'd like me to take a look at your save file, join my Discord server, the link is down below, and get in touch with me. Your save could help someone else with the same problems learn a little bit more about the game. Hey guys, how's it going? Okay, so does your balance right here constantly do this? Well, if you have fluctuating balance problems, then follow along and I'll talk to you about how to figure out how to fix that. It's actually really simple, and once you understand how to identify and fix it, you shouldn't have any trouble going forward with keeping that balance number steady and increasing as you build up your population in Anno 1800. Alright, so today's save is from a player that has been having a lot of struggles with trying to keep his balance up in the positive and a lot of fluctuations and everything. Now, he does have a really healthy amount of coin in stock, and that is because he is doing the pocket watch turnaround. As we can see right here, he is buying pocket watches from Archie and he is selling those to Katimba. About 600,000 profit after he buys them from Archie and sells them to Katimba. The distance in between here on the map and everything between High Clarence Hall and the edge of the map where Mbessa is, it's letting him pick up about 125-ish pocket watches, and those sell for about 1.67 million to Tabarim, and they cost a little over 1 million to buy from Archie. So again, about somewhere around $650,000 profit on that right there. So that is how he is actually covering himself while his balance is all over the place. So he's in a good position to weather the storm, but we do want to go through and figure out why the storm is happening and how to fix it. So the first thing you always want to do when you're trying to figure out what is going on with this is to go to your main residential island. Where are most of your population located? For him, it is the town of Lecto right here in the old world. What we're going to do is hit Control Q or whatever it is on the console to bring up the production statistics screen. Okay, we want to see kind of what's happening here. He's not producing much of anything on Lecto itself. Most everything is being produced off the island. The only productions he has actually local here are fish and wool. That's his only two real productions: fish, wool, and work clothes. He's got sails being made, of course, and then coal, sand, oil, and that's basically it. That's all he's really got going on over here on this island. Now, what are his other islands? So he's got an island over here, Baltaway. He's got a bunch of production over here, and I already see some missing goods icons. He's got a lot of production over here on this island. He's got Chuzzlewitch down here, which he's got some more production on as well. And he does have docklands on all of the islands, and we're going to touch on all these docklands here very soon about what's happening with those. And he's also got Raven Road right here, which he has started another settlement of farmers and workers and stuff on. And again, he's got a bunch of stuff being produced here. Mostly it's farming goods on this island. So 4 islands in the old world, all of them kind of basically feeding Lecto. So this actually makes our job really easy. So one of the first things that I noticed that I don't really like is having these 2 different production islands. He's got this one over here with some of his heavy industry. Then he's got less heavy industry up here, I guess you could say. I don't know. I don't really like this right here, trying to divide it up. I would say that to keep things a little more compact and simplified early in the game, if you're going to do a production island, do 1 production island. Don't have this split up into 2. So that's the first thing I want to do, is I actually want to reduce this down. It's going to save some money. It's going to save 243 upkeep maintenance cost right here on an oil harbor. It's going to save the maintenance cost on this oil power plant of 388. So he's going to save a little bit of money, and we'll be able to get rid of a couple of these fairly expensive oil tankers right here and just have a single oil tanker. If we even need oil tankers. I doubt we will, but you know, we may keep 1 on hand in case we need it and get rid of the other. So that's the first thing I want to kind of focus on, is redistribute his production and get all of it moved over to 1 island and have it all nicely centralized. So to plan for that, let's take a look at his productions over here on Chuzzlewitch and see how it compares to Lecto and make sure that we're producing enough of everything that we need between these islands. Now we know we were shipping over sewing machines, spectacles, penny farthings, and light bulbs. Well, we're underproducing on the sewing machine, so that's already a problem right there. So when we go to move all this stuff over, we know that we need to increase the production of those sewing machines and get some more of those taken care of. Now, what else is he producing over here? He's got motor assembly lines, furnaces, brass smelteries, filaments and stuff up here as well. So basically everything that's right here, I want to move over to the other island. A good way I think I'm going to do this is using the copy and paste. So we're going to do this. And we're going to do this. Okay. This gets all of my industry kind of up here where I want it to be. And then I can move it around from there. All right, let's see. That's an okay place right there. It's going to blueprint a bunch of stuff because we don't have enough. We don't have enough materials to build everything because we don't have enough windows, but that's okay. We'll get all that taken care of. Now, let's go down here, and we're just going to go ahead and get rid of all of this. I don't want any of it. All right, now we're going to deal with some trade routes right here. This trade route was going from Lecto down there. We're just going to have it actually now just go over straight to Baltaway and unload any excess oil. And this trade route right here is no longer needed. So we're going to delete that route. And since we deleted that route, I'm going to delete that ship. Get rid of that oil tanker. We do need to kind of get all of this over there, and we need to make sure we get it all built and everything. So if you will pardon me while I jump forward in time, I'm going to restructure all of this right here to be able to fit everything I need around this one power plant, and then we will take a look at it. Okay, so I've gotten all the industry right around this one single oil power plant for right now. Now, it's not pretty, it's not, you know, the most efficient setup or layout, but it will get this player by for the time being until he can expand out more and then start using things like, you know, trade unions to create more specialized setups around trade unions and everything like that. But this gets everything he needs right here. Now we just have to go through and rebalance everything and get all of this right here fixed and see now what he is missing between here and Lecto. Now we just need to compare 1 to 1. That's all we've got to do. So now let's just check between there and Lecto. This tells us where we need to go from here. So we do need more sausages, bread, canned food, fur coats being produced. So let's go ahead and add a little extra of all of those. All right, so that takes care of making sure we have all of the consumer goods buildings produced and we have everything we need there. All of our demands are met in terms of our balances and everything else like that. So we're pretty good there. I'm happy with that. Now we need to go back and start the next phase of it. So I always go in this order. I build all of the consumer goods factories I need first. Then I go to intermediate and I see, okay, now what do I need to make sure that input is done? Well, I can see that I need a lot of stuff. I need flour, steel, tallow, glass. We need quite a bit of things. So let's go and add all of that in. Okay, so now all of our intermediate stuff is now supplied. We have a bit of an overproduction on the glass, but that's okay. We'll probably use that up later on anyways. Steel, I like to kind of keep right on the money right there, right as close as possibly I can on the balance and everything. Everything else is looking good, so now we just start working our way backwards even more. And we repeat the same process through each of the other two right here, raw materials and agricultural goods. And that way, I have everything supplied and fixed. So from here, we can see that we need more pigs because our supply outstrips, our demand outstrips our supply. Same thing with grain, same thing with furs. So all we do is add more of each. Now, I'm going to jump in here real quick just to talk about one little thing right fast, and that is the newspaper. This player has 564 influence currently, and that's enough influence actually to go ahead and start doing an auto-publish on the newspaper. Now, here is my preferred setup for the newspaper. A 30% a 20%, and a plus 15. This gives me a 50% reduction in consumption right here. That's absolutely massive. Now, the plus 15 happiness is to counter the usage of propaganda. The more propaganda you use more often, the more happiness penalty you incur. The maximum happiness penalty is minus 15 happiness from using propaganda. This plus 15 simply offsets that. That's all it does. That way I get a 0 hit for my happiness from using propaganda, and all this has cost me is 265 influence. If I put that on auto publish and publish that, we're going to see a massive drop in the amount of consumption that we need between here and Lecto. Look at that. Look how much this is about to save us. So let's take a look and see what's going to happen here. We're at about negative 15,000 right now. Let's see what, and then take a look at our workforce. Watch those numbers. Let me go through here and now readjust for using propaganda. All right, so we've saved ourselves, and this hasn't really changed any at all from the current thing. We saved almost 4,000 income, and we went from only 3 workers over to 838 extra workers. And all I did was pause everything that I didn't need. I didn't destroy it. I just simply paused it for the time being. That is how powerful propaganda is. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like propaganda, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? It's a game, and propaganda is so useful in this game. Go ahead and use it. Real world repercussions be damned. It's a game, and it's super powerful. You save so much money in workforce by using it. It's very, very good to use. So anyways, now that I've got everything kind of sorted out here and I'm pretty happy with where everything's at, we just need to now go through and finish balancing all of our productions and just go through this production screen right here and see what we need to focus on. All right, I've got Baltaway in a state where I'm happy with the current state of this island. We just need to bring in everything else that it is currently lacking. And the things it's lacking on is the charcoal and the zinc. Now, we're going to commandeer a few trade routes right here. He's got this little trade route right here that was bringing over iron ore. We're not going to do that. Let's actually go find him, pause him, just drop that overboard. We don't need that. Instead, what I want to do is I want to reverse this. And I want to look around. Who has coal? He's got some coal. He's got some coal. Everybody's got a little bit of coal. Who has the most? 3, 1, and 1. Okay, so he actually has the most coal right here. So let's go over here and steal this coal, because we're probably not going to need it on this particular island right here. Build a mine there and a mine there. There's the other coal right there. Grab that. Now let's compare that over here to Baltaway, see where we're at. We are almost there. We're within 2. So you know what? That's not bad. So let's change this around. Now, let's get rid of Chuzzlewitz. You're going to actually go down here, and I want you to grab charcoal and bring that up. A couple of you may have noticed when I did that coal route, I actually set it up backwards. I had it picking up from Baltaway and unloading it at Raven Road. I have fixed that, so that is corrected, because I kept thinking, why am I running out of coal? That's because I'm a dum-dum. Now, we're still low a little bit of coal on Baltaway, so what can we do for that? Well, he actually does have a trade route we could utilize. He's got this schooner right here that's picking up a few things from Wormways. Let's actually do something different with that. He's got this route right here that was bringing over windows. Let's get rid of the Nebuchadnezzar off of... Actually, let's just delete this entire route. This route is actually completely useless. Instead, let's take this route, get rid of that, add the Nebuchadnezzar, and instead, we're going to pick up all that we can from that island. Let's go pick up all of this stuff right here. You know what? Let's do it this way. Let's pick up 2 of those and 2 of those, because we had enough copper. It was the zinc and the coal that we were low on. So we're going to pick up the zinc and the coal from that route right there. Let's go over here, tell him to get rid of those. There we go. Now that is coal and zinc coming from Eli. So there we go right there. But that's actually at the wrong island. I just realized that. That's my fault. It's actually going to be even better. So there we go. Perfect. Now that route is how I want that one to be set up. And that's going to help take care of some of those needs right there that we have. We still need a little more zinc, though, coming from somewhere. Do we have zinc anywhere else? We had some zinc down there. Yep, we had some zinc here. And he already has 2 of those set up. So now I'm going to create a new route. Just to bring, not that, just to bring zinc. I don't really want that ship on there. And he doesn't really have any available ships. What are we doing here? Oh, you know what? This route right here is good for that. We're going to take him off of that route. That's the orange Picoi. So he's going to go between that, and I want him to do the zinc. Good deal. Let's see. He's got old world internal routes right there. Now, this guy is actually now going to do the route that that other one was doing. Which, there. Where's it at? There he is. Okay. He is going to do that route just because they are right next to each other. It's a very quick, simple route. Let's do double check, though, between here and Baltaway. Oh, yeah. Plenty. We're making more than enough. Just because we do have several turned off because we are using that propaganda again. So that's going to take care of that problem. Now we just go through and double check and make sure all these other routes are good. He's fine for the moment. He actually needs to be adjusted. Instead of Chuzzlewitch, it's now Baltaway that is doing that. Okay, there's that one. Now, here's a route right here that I think actually can just be completely gotten rid of. We're just going to completely delete that route. We're going to make that stuff local here on Ravenrod. Sausages and soap don't need any particular... They don't need any particular fertilities for that, so we're just going to do these ourselves. So I'm going to use some of my stamps. I've got a simple sausage setup right here. Say that 5 times fast. And let's see, how much did I need? Oh, he doesn't. Oh, he does have some workers right there, but he's got that turned off actually. Let's just turn all of that right there on. Okay, so that's enough there, so that's good. I've got a very large bakery layout. It's actually way more than what this island currently needs. So I'm going to place it, but then I'm just going to... I could have actually blueprinted that. I didn't. But, you know, it's fine. We'll just go through and disable everything that we currently don't need on that. And that's going to take care of the bread. Yeah, all that right there is fine. And then soap. I have a single simple soap layout right here. And that takes care of the soap. Now, all right. Now they've got everything they need. No trade route necessary. Everything is good to go. All right, that trade route is fine. All these trade routes right here, I think, are actually pretty good. Now we're just going to kind of let it fast forward a little bit and make sure everything gets supplied. All right, while we're waiting for all of that right there to kind of come together, let's take a look at the docklands that I talked about earlier. And he's got some interesting stuff going on with these docklands that we got to talk about here. We go over here and look. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. He's exporting canned food, but importing cement. He's importing bananas. He's importing penny farthings with spectacles. Rum with schnapps. Okay, I don't know what's happening, but we're just going to get rid of all of this. Okay? We're going to get rid of all of his dockland stuff, and we're going to do something different here. He's also got docklands down here. Again, I'm not sure what he's doing. I thought maybe he was doing it to unlock stuff, and he might have been trying to unlock certain things, but it's kind of all over the place. So we're just going to get rid of all of this. Like he was exporting stuff he wasn't even producing enough of, and it was kind of everywhere. Over here, he's exporting to import schnapps, but we're not going to worry about any of that. And then up here, he's got like he's importing three canned food for all of that. 26 sausages. Some of that. And I don't quite understand it. Yeah, I can't figure out what that was about, so we're just going to get rid of it. Okay. I'm not going to set up the docklands, but instead I'm going to offer advice. Export finished goods, high value finished goods, and import raw materials. So, for example, let's say I wanted to use brass. Okay, I would use brass as an it's got to come up from over here. I'm an idiot, and I don't really have any brass at the moment just yet. I will later. But let's say, for example, I want to start exporting brass. Obviously, I need to get some of that built up. But once I do, I could export the brass, and let's say I want to import my zinc. Okay, I could do that. Now, what I would have to do is go under and check my production and check how much zinc do I need. I need 4 tons per minute. Okay, with that 4 tons per minute, I'm going to multiply that 4 times 30. Why do I do it by 30? Well, it takes Tobias 20 minutes from the time he leaves your trading post to where he enters the region again. It takes 20 minutes. As soon as he finishes his transaction and pulls away from your trading port, a countdown timer for 20 minutes begins. Once that 20 minutes is up, he comes back into the region. Then he has to sail to your harbor. That can take, a couple of minutes. So the 30 is 30 minutes, and that's a 20-minute timer plus a 10-minute buffer. So 4 times 30 is 120. So it's telling me that I would have to export 52. So divide 52 by 30, and you get 1.7. So you round that up to 2. So you have to make sure that you have an overproduction of at least 2. I currently don't. I only have an overproduction of 1. So if I wanted to do that particular export, I would have to produce more brass. Okay, so that's just an example of how you could do that. You could export anything. A lot of people are obviously going to be using steam motors. Steam motors are really, really strong export. And since he's producing those, he could use that. Use your finished goods or intermediate goods as your exports. I know some people like to do a little cheesy stuff with like wood to go ahead and unlock, a bunch of stuff using wood. You can do that early on to unlock, some of the early tiers right here. Use things like wood and everything to try to get some quick early unlocks on the pyramid and over here. But get rid of them as soon as you have them unlocked. Don't keep doing that. It's a little wasteful. Start actually using better goods for your exports. So I will let this player decide what to export based on that advice and everything. But yeah, we got rid of all of that mess right there. So that's how you kind of go about figuring out why your income is fluctuating. Go from island to island, see where you're missing stuff, see where you're underproducing, and how you can better consolidate all of your production and get everything lined up a little bit better. Go through your trade routes. What kind of trade routes do you have that you don't really need? How can you better organize your trade routes to have fewer of them and to deliver goods a little more expediently? And then simply work backwards. Go through your consumer goods. Make sure you're producing everything that you currently need. If you need more factories, place down those consumer good factories and then go backwards from here. Go through your intermediate, go through your agricultural, and then go to your raw materials and go through all of those and make sure you have all of that supplied and taken care of. If you do that and you have everything supplied properly, you won't see your income fluctuate and it will stay a nice, steady amount. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helped you out. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments, and I do check all of those, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one. Until then, take care.